this season could have gone very differently when you take in the crash at Hangtown. I think it was Redbud where you landed on the guy that was down. The first turn at Millville. Like, there was, as well as you rode, there was a little bit of luck that you didn't get hurt in some of these injuries, and it just, like, this season was just your season.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, I got slammed hard a few times, and I mean, another thing is I'm a tough kid. I definitely preach that I don't give up a lot, and when I get slammed like that, it hurts. Trust me, it hurts, but I really don't give up. Like, it really would take a lot. Like, I'd have to have a bone sticking out for me to give up, you know? Like, I feel like if nothing's broken, I honestly, the first thing I do is get up, and if everything's fine, I'm running to my bike. I don't care what's going on. I'm getting back to the bike, and I mean, that's just kind of been my mentality ever since I was a kid. My dad, I remember one time I crashed and I laid there, and I remember that was like the last time I ever did that because it was on 50s, and my dad just lit me up, and I was like, I will never lay there again. I don't care if whatever happens. I got to get up and get back to my bike, and I feel like that's definitely a good habit I have in me.
When you get into the last couple of rounds of the championship, it seemed like you were being a little more responsible with the motos, not trying to maybe take as many chances because the championship was on the line. How hard is it for you to adjust to that, switching off that, I'm just going to send it, and then try to managing a championship?
Yeah, it's definitely a learning subject. I've never done it before, like had a championship lead like that. So it was definitely, I'd be going to races, and I was just, honestly, I'd get out there and just ride smooth, try not to make mistakes like I did at the beginning of the season. Like you guys seen, I believe, Hangtown with my crash there. And then obviously Redbud was out of my control. So I feel like if that didn't happen, it would have been a little more consistent. But I got to a point where I had such a big lead that I was just like at the races, just executing what I know how to do and not take any chances. And then that's why, I feel like this last round, I didn't have anything to lose. So I think you guys kind of see me ride a little harder. Getting into it with Tom and just how I could ride like that if I need to, like what I'm trying to say. And at the championship, I didn't need to do that all season because I had such a big lead.
So Bobby has like a reputation of being hard on guys, and I kind of get the feeling that nobody's harder on you than yourself. Does Bobby have to light a fire? Yeah, true. Does like Bobby have to light a fire under you ever? Or is it just you got it?
Yeah, you could tell me one thing before I go out to the race, and it could change the whole race for me. You could motivate me so hard where I'm just like, damn, like maybe it'll flip a switch in me where I'm like, all right, let's get it. Like, you know, like, I can control that myself, but if someone, Bobby knows how to do it. He was a light of fire under me, and I'm like, all right, now I got to go prove these people wrong. Or even like my mom calling after my first moto this weekend, and she was not happy. She was not happy at all. And that just, that kind of motivates me and like lights a switch in me where I'm like, all right, well, I got to go do it right now. I can't be messing around. And even though I got the championship, I still have to perform at the top level. So that's what I ended up doing in the second moto.
But you just mentioned the rubbing elbows with Tom Vial in Moto 2. Like, that wasn't necessary for you. You didn't have to go out and win that race because you already won the championship. But I think you just love racing like that. Like, to me, that wasn't being dirty or anything. That it was just aggressive racing because that's what this sport is.
Yeah, 100%. That was, it wasn't like, we weren't like crossing up at each other in the air. Yeah. Only time we were crossing each other up was on, out of turns and stuff, which is completely fine. That's racing, and every form of racing is like that. You watch NASCAR and stuff, people are cutting each other off everywhere. That's just racing. That's just what you do, and there's no reason to be upset about that. It's honestly kind of fun going back and forth like that, especially when you're especially when you're at the upper foot, when you're a little bit faster and you're in second, you can kind of weave your way around, it was pretty sick.
Last thing with Ironman that I have is the covered bridge section that you were jumping farther than everybody. Pretty damn cool. And then they changed like the finish line, we'll call it the Deegan double from last year. They changed that. What do you think about them changing that? Then just the covered bridge section. It's a couple of really cool sections that last year you were ripping and doing again this year.
Yeah, 100%. They took out, I was going to call that the dangerous double, but they ended up taking it out. I don't know why they took it out. I think a few of the 450 guys were complaining because I honestly don't know why. It's a jump. You guys know how to ride a dirt bike. There's the other 250 guys hitting it. So I don't know why they took it out, but it's kind of unfortunate. And I just had to find a different jump, though. So I found one on the other side of the track wide open.
Obviously, MXdN's the hot topic. I think you had to let the AMA know by today. What can you tell us? We've heard lots of rumors. Oh, he's only going if Eli's going, or, he may be having surgery. What can you tell us?
Yeah, it's definitely been a big subject, and actually it's still in the talks because it is most up to the team. That's kind of what it kind of comes down to, and also it's up to the team for me too, because I do have to get screws taken out of my wrist.
Yep.
And that's kind of up to the team. They want me to get prepared preseason for upcoming Supercross because the goal is to go win that. So it's honestly really last minute, and we're trying to figure it out because the team, wants me to get, obviously for myself too, I want to get my wrist healed up correctly so I can have a good preseason. So it's no answer yet.
Okay. All right. I had heard that you might have to get pins out, but you weren't sure. But are the pins definitely coming out, or do you know that yet?
Yeah, I did. I talked to a doctor, and that's what they recommended as soon as possible.
Yeah.
It's not nothing that's gonna ever bother me later down the road, but it's smart to get it taken out while you have the chance. So
okay.
Recommended to get it taken out, but it's still. I obviously want to go race for my country and go race over with all the other GP guys. I think that would be so sick. So it's definitely, we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because there are people out there, and I don't know how much you actually pay attention to the comments online, but there's he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to, F Haiden because he doesn't want to go support his country, and they just don't. People don't always accept that there are other factors at play.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot more behind it. I just wouldn't want to go race over there or something. I genuinely want to race over there. I genuinely think this year I am the fastest 250 guy, so I want to go race the fastest 250 guys over there, 100%. But there's a lot more to it with my body, with the team, so there's still things that go on behind the scenes, but I definitely would want to race over there.
If you decide that you can't, or the team decides that they don't want to go and you don't go, who would be your choice to fill that spot? Because I feel like Hymus is probably the number one pick behind you. I know you guys have your whatever you want to call it, but I believe at the end of the day, you respect Hymus as far as his ability. Yeah. Who would be your pick to take that spot?
Yeah, it's hard because there's been guys on and off all season. Obviously, Chance's riding really well. You can't deny it, and that would obviously be a great pick too. He has really good starts. And then you go to Levi. Levi won 3 rounds in a row or whatever.
Yeah.
He's been running up front, but sometimes his starts are off, sometimes his starts are good. So it's honestly, it's kind of a gamble between a couple guys. They're going to want to find a guy with good starts and that's pretty consistent.
So I'm hearing rumors you're thinking about doing kind of what Reed did back in the day and doing your own team. I was just curious, what are you looking like coming up, moving up to 450? Yeah. Curious about the plans.
Yeah, I did see that. I seen that someone posted that, and I was like, I'd never even talked about it. I'm not even sure what that is. Honestly, that was literally made up, and it's kind of crazy. Some things get made up and people run with it.
Yeah.
It's that is sometimes I even myself, I want to make something up and see if people run with it. But it's I feel like I'm contracted with Star, and I don't plan on going anywhere else as of now. That's where I'm at. This team's really good. I think they got, the best bike, and everyone supports me here, so this is where I'm at.
We talked about this in the last time you were on. Some of the things you say rubs people the wrong way, and then some of it I feel like is sort of just to mess with the other riders. So how much of that do you even think about? Do you even think about the things you say and how your fans or the haters are going to say? Do you even take that into consideration when you go up on the podium and say something?
Yeah, I don't really, I honestly, the fans and stuff, I enjoy the support and everything, but if people, don't like me, I look past that.
Yep.
A lot of those people, talking on the internet and stuff, if they had their goals set where I want to go and the things I want to achieve, they wouldn't have time to talk crap on me. But racing wise, when I get into it, with other riders, or I say these one-liners, I truly do think it works, and I say it personally, that's just out of my racecraft. When I'm in race mode, that's what's coming out of my, that's what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
Shoot, when I'm freaking saying those things, it is just random coming out of my
He's talking shit like we do at the track.
Yeah. It's a little bit.
I don't think it, but again, I don't think it doesn't. When people say, he's just making a fool of himself, I genuinely don't think that. Because I genuinely see, I say something and I see these dudes, they do end up the next week or 2 weeks later cracking under pressure a little bit. So that's when it plays into my head, maybe does work. You know, the 70-point lead when I won the championship, I think some of those mind games do work.
Speaking of that, though, it will create enemies to a degree. You will have guys that don't like it that you're racing with. And I think in the 450 class, that's a little more frowned upon. There's a lot more respect. How do you feel about that transition? Do you feel like when you go 450, maybe that'll change? Or
the way I see it is, I'm still young. I'm in a class where I think everybody, we're all going at it. We're all cutting each other off. We all kind of, I feel like when you get to the 450 class, everyone's a lot more respected of each other. You know what I mean? Like no one's on the start. No one's, besides this weekend, I've seen someone crash, but like no one's sending it into each other. No one's really, cross jumping each other in the 450 class. Like when the 450 class, when you get up to someone to pass them, it's not like a freaking huge ordeal. Like most of those guys, when they get past, they don't really like put up a fight. So it's like, I feel like in the 450 class, it's more like laid back, and I feel like they just respect each other more because they're all, the freaking top 10 is all lights champions. So I believe when I do get to the 450 class in that age, I'll definitely be more mature of a person in general, but I think I'm just racing veterans. I'll have a lot more respect for those guys.
How beneficial do you feel it is that they allow you a little bit of freedom to go to other places? We've seen you go to Eli's, you rode Kenny.
Obviously, I want to work on my own stuff every here and there. So going out to train with Tomac or going down to Claremont and train with those guys, Star's been really open to do that. And I definitely think it would be different, though, if I was going out and not performing. But the way, I've been doing it and performing well, I think that they are fine with that because it works. And that's what I did growing up too. I never was stuck at one place or, California, you had 5 different tracks to go ride. We were always moving around, go to different states to ride. And I feel like you got to go to your roots sometimes if you want to be great. So I feel like jumping around tracks, training with other people, I think that's key for me at least. Other people that doesn't work quite as good. I'm just like that though, and that's how I was raised. So that's kind of the key roots.